Hello everyone. Today's video is something unique and, to be honest, a first time for me, since majority of people asked me for it. I'm making an M0 to M6 rotation with Miyabi, also calculating the damage and even explaining her rotation in depth, thanks to Hollanda ZZZ. I'll be linking his channel to my pinned comments and also in my description, so make sure you check him out. I just wanted to make sure that everything you see here is bound to change after I do testing on her release, since I don't have the access to her like the content creator server does. And before I start the video, if you aren't a subscriber yet, I hope at the end of the video I'd earn it. Just make sure you subscribe to me, as it shows support to the channel itself and also helps me keep going with the videos. Also, I'd love for everyone to join my Discord server. I'd love to make it active and hopefully meet new people that can help me build a community. Also, one last thing before I start this video, this is an evaluation of her Mindscape cinemas. It doesn't mean I'm promoting them, nor am I encouraging it, as I see her very busted on M0. And now, without further ado, let's start. Her M0, as mentioned before on my previous video, is very strong, although you might see different calculations, and that's because I adjusted her rotation. The idea of her M0 revolves around quick swapping between the two agents, which is Yanagi and Miyabi, making sure to trigger their respective anomalies each time they become available. And because of that careful timing, it ensures that both anomalies continue to accumulate to trigger disorder, maximizing the potential of their effects. Each time an anomaly is procced, it's an opportunity to generate more disorder stacks, which can significantly enhance the overall performance. And maintaining the Rina buff is essential for optimizing your overall team's performance. And in case you don't know, the Rina buff is significant. Her pen ratio is great, and if you're not careful, it can drop in the result, and as you can see, a noticeable decrease in your performance. So constantly checking or even memorizing her debuff is necessary to ensure the Rina buff remains active while managing the cooldowns and timings of her abilities. The idea here is the coordination of these agents, maximizing disorder stack generation, ensuring anomalies are procced as frequently as possible, and keeping the Rina buff at all time. The rotation requires precise gameplay and 100% awareness in my opinion, particularly in the dynamic combat situation where you'll need to monitor both the status of your abilities and the state of the buff. As you can see in the image, with this rotation the damage output should match exactly what we saw in my previous video, except it's going to be increasing slightly. Because of that, it's going to look fantastic considering Miyabi's significant damage contribution. However, since Miyabi Yanagi won't be on the same team, or you won't play them, how can we use Lighter or Lycon even, for example? Well, let's say if you're playing Lighter, the idea will be focused primarily on morale. The key here is to treat Miyabi as a hyper carry. During her long charge attack level 3, you'll cancel the animation by switching to another character, triggering Lighter's morale burst, then quickly switching back to Lucy's EX, and that's how you keep going. So in short, the main goal is to use morale effectively and then rotate back to Miyabi. Lucy's sole role will be more supportive, staying on field just long enough to refresh buffs and trigger her ultimate. I think with that much info, we'd expect nothing changing hopefully. At least not nerfs, but hopefully at least not buffs as well. On M1, the rotation is the same as before, on all her squads or teams. The increase in damage isn't for her only, it is also a damage increase for her team as well. Miyabi gives 20% AM to the whole squad and can easily help Yanagi variant squad to apply more anomalies, even for herself actually. Since this is a starting Mindscape, I think it's great, and it isn't really that greedy for Miyabi's personal damage. It is great, and her normal attack strength ignores enemies' defense by 36% in total. So yeah, overall,
nice.
And now for the moment where I honestly struggled to figure out the rotation. Since again, I don't have access to the agent, nor can I play her. Best I could do is provide you with at least the small information. As you can see in the image, this setup has the potential to create an infinite rotation, or infinite combo as a matter of fact, relying on the optimal stack count to avoid overcapping while continuously triggering disorder with Yanagi's passive and switching between each applied anomaly. While this isn't a specific rotation, it's more about maintaining the ideal stack for consistent performance. As an opener, this approach should be solid, even without factoring in ultimates, or the need to refresh Rina. If you follow this rotation, Miyabi can easily land 3 holds or even 4 if you're sweating with that rotation, assuming the enemy doesn't die too quickly. This is specifically for content up to floor 25 in the tower, with a focus on Shiyu specifically. Of course, with a more refined and precise rotation, reaching 4 level 3 holds is definitely doable. And when I say doable, I don't mean you can do it 4 times in a row. As a matter of fact, I'm talking about the whole rotation, so just to be clear. At M3 to M6, Miyabi sees a significant boost not just in raw damage. Each of these cinemas adds additional abilities and improvements to her gameplay that boosts her from a strong agent to an incredibly busted one. At M3, Miyabi gains major boosts to her skill levels, particularly to her normal attack, dodge, support skill, special skill, and the chain skill, each increasing by +2. This helps in improving her damage overall, her ability to output damage, especially when combined with the power of her charge attack. The extra charge attack is going to help her a lot in dishing out the damage. Now on M4, her damage becomes even more potential, with a significant 30% increase to the damage dealt by Frostburn Break. This upgrade is crucial when you're focusing on dealing damage through that specific skill. Additionally, Miyabi gains 250 points of Disciple whenever Frostburn Break is triggered. This gives higher potential for you to use ults more frequently on her, allowing her to increase the damage even more efficiently. And at M5, Miyabi continues to benefit from the increased skill levels across all of her core abilities. As it is with M3, this helps her maintain optimal performance across various situations. And obviously, it's heavily focused on charge attack, let's be real. When Miyabi reaches M6, that's when she truly becomes a powerhouse. During Frost Moon stance, she gains a new effect that significantly enhances her damage. The Extreme Intent effect boosts the damage caused by the normal attack Frost Moon by 30%. This change makes her much more dangerous force on field, as it adds additional layer to her skill rotation. After gaining Extreme Intent, Miyabi will automatically draw her sword and unleash a powerful slash forward depending on the current charging stage of her charge attack. What's even more impressive is that these swords drawing slashes won't interrupt charging progress of the Frost Moon stance, as long as Frostfall is not consumed entirely. In total, during one of Frost Moon stance, she can launch up to 3 sword drawing slashes in success, which can do massive damage in a quick scenario. In terms of raw damage output, Miyabi's scaling is incredible with these upgrades. By the time she reaches M6, her damage numbers are so busted by all these improvements. Making her top tier agent is just a mockery to a top tier agent. I don't think it's a mockery even, I think you're putting a top tier agent to trash at this point. It's an increase of 200% more damage compared to her base level at M0. So let me summarize this quickly for you. From M3 to M6, M3 boosts the skills. M4 increases the damage dealt by Frostburn Break by 30%. And in case you don't know, that's the passive with 1500. You just add 30% on it, and on top of that, you gain 250 points of Decibel points, making her passive more effective. M5 increases all the skills but heavily focuses on her charge attack in my opinion, and M6 unlocks Extreme Intent, which boosts normal attack damage by 30%. Miyabi also gains the ability to launch up to 3 powerful drawing slashes during Frost Moon stance, all while maintaining charge progress. With these upgrades, Miyabi reaches her full potential and becomes the most busted agent released yet in the game. The increased damage, faster rotation, and enhanced abilities make her not just great, but seriously busted. To the point where I honestly don't think any other agent in this game gains that level of performance as Miyabi does. They don't have that massive damage increase as she does, unless there's some sort of limits. But yeah, overall she's great on Ms, and honestly speaking, if you want to find a great stopping point, it's M2. And if you really want to have a challenge in the game, M0 is just great. There's no need to go and pull for the Ms unless you really can. Just remember that the content is clearable without the M2 and M6, because at M0 her performance is insanely great in my opinion, even greater than any agent that we have so far in the game. So yeah, with that being said, we have reached the end. It was a nice journey, and hopefully I've earned your subscription today. It would show great support to me if you actually subscribe to me. Also let me know in the comment section below if you'll play a different and funky theme with Miyabi's release, and if you'll pull her or not. See you in the next one.